You're in the middle now.
Hi, I'm Chris. This is Lottie.
Hello, Lottie. Hi, Chris.
I thought everybody was bringing their dog. Great to be here. We live in incredibly disruptive times. Hung Parliament, terrorism, Trump, Raqqa, Russia, Brexit, all of that is disruptive, is disturbing. But what I offer you today is, in spite of all of that, what the fourth industrial revolution promises us is far, far more disruptive than all of those disturbing, disruptive factors put together. And the narrative goes something like this. The bots are coming, our jobs are going, and we're all off to hell, and nobody even knows if we have a handcart. I hear that narrative. I don't believe in that narrative 1 ounce. I'm lucky enough in Parliament to be on select committees on artificial intelligence, the fourth industrial revolution, data, analytics, fintech. Everything I hear, everything I learn, everything I read from those groups convinces me that why shouldn't we be positive and believe that if we're positive and we collaborate, that we can plan for a future where everybody's included and a future which is better tomorrow than it is today. And that future will be built on technology and us, humanity and the technology bridging together to that brighter future. But we have to get a few things straight. We have to get the everythingness of what's coming down the track. Internet of Things, big data, machine learning, AI, robotics, 3D printing, each and every one of them with the power to make a massive transformation. When you put all of those together, what an extraordinary force already underway at incredible pace. It's no good people thinking, my area's defense, home affairs, education, health. This digital stuff is all over there for somebody else. The everythingness of the fourth industrial revolution with the power to transform every single thing we do professionally, personally, right across our working and private lives. Everything potentially up for change. But alongside that, the fundamental truth that everything and nothing changes. Everything and nothing changes. We've never been more connected across the globe, and yet how many worrying examples of nationalism right around the world. We've never taken more photographs, and yet where's Kodak?
True.
And crucially, everything and nothing changes. The human heart remains the same. What we want, how we live, how we work, how we love, how we die remains the same. What we want out of our work, what companies do we want to work with? What communities do we want to live in? What cities, what countries, what world? All within our grip. Humanity and technology bridging together. But how do we go about that? Because understandably, with this amount of disruption, massive anxiety. We see surveys, 35% of jobs are going to be wiped out by automation. By the same token, 2 million more jobs needed in the digital space. Jobs coming on stream that we don't even know the job title of at this stage. No wonder we feel anxious. So without having or even desiring all the certainties, we need to grip some solid stuff. So what do we need to do to bridge together towards that future? Firstly, education at the heart of everything. We need digital literacy to be seen as significant as numeracy and literacy, right through preschool to the moment we take our last breath. We need to have inclusion as the golden thread running through all of this. Inclusion, the mother and father of innovation. And I'll tell you a stat to prove this. In 2014, in the UK, just over 4,000 young people took A-level computer studies. Just over 4,000. Fewer than 100 were female. Yes, we have to think about inclusion. We have to think about infrastructure. If we're going to have enabled, empowered people to operate, to flourish in this fourth industrial revolution, you've got to have the infrastructure as faster broadband, fiber, satellite, all of that, because the barriers to entry are being wiped away. You can run a global business from your bedroom, but you can't do that if you can't get online. Rural not spots in the heart of London. All of this has to be addressed. Massive issues for private, public policymakers across the piece. Crucially, it's about talent. You may remember the Google billboards in Silicon Valley. Huge billboards saying, we are hiring PhDs. Not specific, just PhDs, because we want to get the brain power into our organization. Talent. And yet, by the same token, everything and nothing changes. We currently have a government determined to keep international students in the net migration figures. How can we attract the brightest and the best to come and work in Britain in the fourth industrial revolution if the message going out there is, we want your trade, we don't want your children? It's about leadership. Everything and nothing changes. Leadership at every level of an organization. Everybody playing their part. Everybody having a voice. And everybody's voice absolutely needing to be heard, having to be heard in that mix. And it can't be about marginal gains. Some big bets have to be laid down. Let's consider that in Whitehall. What are we going to do? Why not revolutionize the whole benefit system by underpinning it with distributive ledger technology? Who knows what DLT is? I didn't until I got into this space. That's for another talk. But the potential to revolutionize what we do across the whole of our benefit system. Underpin HMRC, the tax people, with artificial intelligence. Why not? Because again, what we have here is the possibility to do stuff in such a different way. Barriers to entry gone. Cost of experimentation gone. We need to reimagine experimentation. And we need to fundamentally forget everything that we've been taught about failure. It's not failure, it's experimentation. Roots on a journey to a potential point that we may not even know when we start that journey. Reimagining that as leaders. How do we go about this? We have the potential because costs have been taken out of the model. What can't we do should be the start point to all of this. Artificial intelligence. I got involved with it. I figured I didn't have enough of my own. I should get some of this artificial stuff. What we can do with that in public policy, in the private sector, across the whole piece. But again, bias in the black box. If that artificial intelligence is made up of data sets which have bias in them, then the box will just replicate and do that bias on heat. If we had artificial intelligence a century ago, it would most likely be racist, sexist, homophobic, disableist, the whole shebang, because the fundamental principle, everything and nothing changes, it's still potentially garbage in, garbage out. Disruption, disruption, disruption. But what a time to be alive. I learned the power of disruption at an early age. When I was 14, I went to bed one night, and when I woke up, I couldn't see. I'd lost my sight overnight. Everything and nothing changed. I was blind, but the dreams I'd had since being a little kid still remained the same. Everything changed in terms of the tools that I would use to do stuff. Getting my books, my school books on cassette tape rather than in print so I could continue, carry on. Everything and nothing changes. Let's go to the ethics, to the essence of how we need to be to thrive, to push forward, and as individuals and as a nation to be brilliant in this fourth industrial revolution. And it doesn't come down to having phenomenal knowledge of a particular bit of technology. It comes down to this: connection and collaboration, safety and security, responsibility and reciprocity, transparency and trust, the things that have always underpinned any human society when it is at its best. The pace of change is phenomenal. Throwing back to my previous sporting career, I say to all of you today, don't sit back. Don't even just lean in, dive in. Thank you very much.